This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Android device. First, click on Settings. Then scroll to Safety and Emergency. Click on Safety and Emergency, then click on Emergency Contacts. Click on Add Contacts. After adding the contacts, click on Medical Information. And fill the information. This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Apple device. Go to your contact list. Search for the name you want to use on your contact list. You scroll down and click on Add to Emergency Contacts. Then click on the description of who that person is to you. Immediately you click on it, click on Done.
In emergencies, every second counts, but a lock phone can delay life-saving help. That is why your phone has an in case of emergency eyes feature.
96.1 FM. All right, so Karimat will be taking us to the classroom right now. Okay, don't forget it's about fixing our cars. It's also about knowing the basics. Educating us on the fundamentals as it concerns our automobile. So if you drive a car, I think the best thing is for us to just know those little things. Like this morning, something happened, Karimat, that I was about to start my car. Even I started it, I noticed that the sound I was getting was not, the regular sound, and it was a bit, I don't know how to actually explain or, but I noticed that sound was somehow get so. And immediately I just opened the hood and I tried to check the the water that's the radiator, and I just had to top up the water. I knew that it's as a result of maybe the water was low, the coolant was low or something. So these are the little things before you even call your mechanic. I think as a vehicle owner, be you a woman, be a man, you should have an idea. If you see a light, from your instrument cluster or on your instrument cluster, you should have an idea. If it talks about the oil light flickering, you should have an idea of what it's saying. If it's a battery light, you should have an idea. So these and many more are the reasons we actually get into the classroom before we start taking course or before we start resolving car issues. So today, let's talk about regurgitation. How best we should handle this issue when we experience it. So regurgitation, when your vehicle spews out fuel, maybe at the filling station, you're trying to buy fuel, and the vehicle is not just taking in everything; it's trying to bring it out. As the fill it up is taking it out. So how best can we handle it? And is it really a complex issue? Is it something that vehicle owners should but they stopped about? Okay. So like you to educate us.
Okay, is regurgitation a complex issue? I would say not really, and but when you ignore these things, it becomes a complex issue. So like you said, regurgitation is when you go to the fuel station, and like the noticeable one that people tend to notice is when you go to fuel station and you notice that you're filling your tank and then the fuel pours back in. That's a visible one. The other regurgitation that happens is when fuel, inside our vehicle, fuel goes from the tank to the fuel rail to your phone, through the fuel lines to your fuel rail. But now it's not going. Instead, it's coming back.
Yeah.
And there are some designs of vehicles that tend to have two tanks. Like they design the vehicle in such a way that they have two tanks. So from one tank, fuel goes from one tank to the other one. But now it's not going. It's just stagnant. So that's another type of regurgitation. So now, is it a complex issue? It is not a complex issue if you do not ignore it. But if you ignore it, it becomes a complex issue. And what I mean is, when you ignore it, it becomes a complex issue, because now what happened is the fall is not going in the right direction. It's going in the wrong direction. So as the fall is going in the wrong direction, it goes to other places in our vehicle. The smell, so it goes to other places in our vehicle. Now and before you know it, you start perceiving that foul smell inside your vehicle.
Yes.
And you know, we live in an environment where we have how do I put it? Our climate is not. The sun. So when there's too much heat, because it can lead to fire explosion.
Really?
Because when there's too much heat, because fall and heat, they do not relate. So when there's
They're
too
not
much
friends.
heat inside of it, it can lead to an explosion. And it will not be it will lead to like a spark. Maybe it will affect the electrical system, for example, just lead to a spark in the wire.
Okay.
So that is one of it. And why is not a complex issue? Because immediately before you know it, these things would have been telling you signs. And one of the signs would have been telling you is people don't tend to notice it, but one of the signs would have been showing is from your instruments cluster, where you have your 4 gauge. If you've noticed that your 4 gauge, when you go to the fuel station to fill your fuel tank, you notice, okay, it's full. But then, before you even your 4 gauge, you'd have noticed a sign of hard start. A sign of hard start could be as a result of regurgitation, because now fuel is not coming through the right channel.
Okay.
The fuel pump is doing the work of the pumping, but now it's not going through the right fuel line. It's going through another one, or probably it's going, but it's not just getting to the fuel rail. So, and one of the another side, that's one, that's hard start.
Yeah.
The other one is when you notice that from your instrument cluster, the 4 gauge, you just finished filling your fuel tank, and then maybe 2 days, 3 days, you notice that it is low already.
Or empty.
That's a sign of regurgitation. That's a sign that your vehicle is going towards is already experiencing regurgitation. So those are the things. So as I said, it is not a complex issue if you see it immediately and you are able to resolve it. But once you begin to ignore these signs, it becomes a complex issue.
Wow. So having a hard start could also be a pointer to the fact that you might be having, the issue you have just mentioned, that's regurgitation.
Yes. Because now a hard start is like fuel is not being supplied properly. Meanwhile, fuel is being supplied. These things we can't see it. But because just like for example, you are let me make example of pumping machine. You can hear the sound of your pumping machine working. Yeah. But it's like as if there's no water getting to
when you open the tap, water
is not coming out.
Exactly.
So that's exactly what is happening inside.
Okay, that's true. Okay, so what about now? Maybe I don't even have an idea. Let's assume I don't even have the hard starting issue. And and there are some people who actually, when fueling their vehicles, they don't look at what maybe the attendant is doing or what have you. And maybe it took like a week for me to actually discover that I'm experiencing that. And the funny thing is, you buy fuel and you just discover that in 2 days, okay, you just assume maybe the vehicle is consuming fuel. You understand? Or maybe it's actually and I never knew it's actually regurgitation. Is there a fault code that could be generated?
Yes, there's going to be a fault code that will be generated. Another thing is your check engine lights. Aside checking your 4 gauge, your check engine lights is also common. Okay. Because it's around your engine control system. Okay. So it's under the EVAP, that's the evaporative emission control system. So it will bring, because the evaporative emission control is just to reduce the amount of emissions that fuel makes after combustion, just to reduce it. Okay. So now we have devices that helps to reduce it. So for example, we have the vent valve. So the vent valve, we have the vent valve, the purge valve. So what they do is the gaseous. So for example, when you put fuel inside your keg at home, if you go after a while, you notice that the keg has swollen up. So now it's not just fuel, you have the fuel and fuel vapor. So inside our vehicle, vehicle now, the same thing happens in our fuel tank. So that gaseous fuel, instead of gaseous fuel and the fuel itself passing through the fuel rail, so they designed this evap system such that it traps the fuel vapor and helps to take it to the combustion chamber to help you burn. But now you're having both, so and that form of regurgitation is now you're having both the fuel vapor and the fuel, just like you're having air and water trying to pass through the same channel. It wouldn't get to the fuel rail.
That's true.
So that's another sign of regurgitation. But now, so what you notice is, aside the hard start, you notice that your engine tends to struggle. Your engine is struggling. Like it's giving you like as if there's no fuel in your vehicle.
Okay.
You tend to notice that your engine struggles. And sometimes you can even experience like maybe for example, your vehicle just raises on its own, then later it comes down. Or you notice this like a jerking kind of feeling when you're driving. Okay. Like as if it's tending towards there's no fuel, or fuel has want to finish inside my vehicle. And meanwhile, you just filled your fuel tank. So you notice the struggle on your vehicle. And another thing is when you now hard load to your engine, maybe you turn on your AC, you notice that your engine is struggling. Your engine is not balancing, because once you turn on, at first instance when you turn on your engine, it would be the sound would be a bit loud, but after a while it tends to like subtle but now it's not doing that. It's still like very loud, and even when you had load on it, it's like as if the engine is struggling to come to a balance. So those are the tail signs that you know. And as the force code too is also another tail sign. So to bring it under the evap under the evap systems, you bring it under it.
Wow. Well, that's truly interesting. Interesting to note. Okay, yeah, so now you get that people experience this, and sometimes some things happen to us. Now we're talking about vehicles. Yeah, some things happen to our vehicles, and we just assume that, okay, let me just give it some time. Like the vehicle is regurgitating now. Maybe it's actually that something is obstructing the passage of the fuel. You get, so is that advisable? Is it ideal for me to just let me give it like 2 weeks? Let's see. Okay, I'll notice, or probably I've noticed this. I'll keep checking and I'll keep monitoring this. So is delay? Is it going to really cause any, or probably can it resolve it? Can it resolve itself? And even if I don't do anything?
Okay, it can't be resolved itself, because what it's experiencing is experiencing a blockage, and it's not experiencing a smooth flow. So it's not something that can be resolved by itself. And this is what we're talking about. It's not something you want to delay.
Okay.
It's not something you want to delay. The moment you notice it, first instance, second instance, call your technician's attention to it, because this is for you. Do not want to find yourself in a stuck situations. For example, maybe you're driving and you go to the fuel station. You don't even want to cause havoc, because it's your safety we're talking about here. Okay. And one thing about these things is, if you delay it over time, it's more expensive for you, because some go as far as changing the fuel pump, fuel regulator, buying purge valve, all those things. Start replacing so many things. So, and if you look at the cost of the later and the cost of now, if you weigh the difference.
So what's the solution now? It's not ideal for me to just start maybe throwing parts, changing the fuel pump and the lights. What's the best thing to do if I have discovered or now ascertained that, yes, this is about regurgitation? What should be the next step to take?
Okay, the next step to take is once you notice it, just inform your technician about it. So the first thing they want to carry out the diagnosis. That's run a scan on it to see where the problem is. Okay. They'll do a physical, aside the onboard diagnosis, they're also going to do a physical check on your car. That's check the fuel line, because it could also be as a result of a leak, maybe around the fuel line. Really? Because it could be as a result of a leak, or maybe they've even worked on your on your fuel tank before. Maybe they opened it and they didn't properly close it. So they'll do a physical check, they'll do an onboard check on it, they'll check the whole system, and they'll check the whole system. After checking all this whole system, they will now tell you where exactly the problem is. If the problem is from the purge valves, or these other vents that tends to, when you want to go for put fuel in the when you go to fuel station, size your cap, your fuel cap.
Yeah.
The other one that opens for the nozzles.
Yeah.
So if it's from any of those systems, you probably need to replace them. Some go as far as replacing the fuel tank.
Wow.
Some go as far as replacing the fuel, but it's on very
Is that necessary?
it's on very rare occasions, because by replacing fuel tank, I mean for vehicles that comes with two fuel system fuel tank, like
Yes.
on two sides, because now it's not it's supposed to supply fuel from here to the other side, so it can go through, but now it's not supplying, so they might need to just reposition it properly. So maybe reposition the fuel tank properly in the vehicle before, so it tends to resolve your issue.
Okay, that tends to resolve it, and the solution is even sounding more complex than the problem itself, because imagine I'm trying to fill in maybe of petrol, or probably filling maybe solvent through a channel, and I noticed there's a blockage. The next thing I was just trying to get something to just remove whatever is obstructing the passage. So now to even get to the stage where you might need to replace maybe the what do you call it, the fuel tank, and
or even if you are lucky enough and it's not that it's as a result of maybe blockage, as a result of maybe sediment. If you are lucky enough that it's not as a result of sediment, you can go as far as replacing the fuel line.
Oh, really?
Because now the sediment has gotten into the fuel line, so it's not even making fuel to pass through it.
Wow.
So
okay. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. We're having the conversation here in the studio if you're just tuning in. So some of those things that we think are just minor issues in our vehicles, you discover that they are even the most complex ones. Just like Arimat has explained now. Having your maybe you trying to buy food and it's not getting in. You just feel there's something very minor. You just tell your technician, please come and help me check this. It's like there's something obstructing this fuel from getting in. And you just feel it's something that maybe you just have to push something in, or you just have to maybe ingest something into and you just discover it's all complex, procedure. All right, so that's it. Thank you very much, Karimat. And if you have issues with your vehicle, if it's about regurgitation, so you have a lot of things to do. You just have to, first of all, scan the vehicle, ascertain what the problem is. Is it about sediments in the fuel line? Is it about maybe the fuel tank? Is it about maybe some other factors? So you need to contact your technician. Okay.
Let me now mention, for those of you that always during what they call it, fuel scarcity.
Okay.
Let me pump my tank full. Let me pump it very full. Your fuel tank has a capacity it can get to. That is why your gauge is there to tell you.
And now fuel is even getting this. It's reducing. The price is reducing. And now we want to buy, buy excessive quantity.
We have this mentality that once the price of something has reduced, there's every high tendency to increase. Like maybe the next, so that mentality of let's have everything. Brain doesn't increase. Our brain doesn't increase, but your mentality is giving the increase.
So that people not overfill their tank.
Yeah, so when you overfill your tank, it's applying, because the reason why your tank, just like I explained that even your keg of your fuel. The reason why, that's why they brought up this method of having to put nylon. So, the nylon is also like an escape to help trap the gas for people that buy fuel inside keg.
Okay, yeah.
So, the tank tends to expand. So, imagine, and by expanding, is helping to separate both the vapor and the liquid fuel. But now your tank is to the fullest.
Is it not a good practice?
How do you expect the vapor to stay inside?
Is it not a good practice to actually cover up the
no, it's a good practice.
Okay.
It's a good practice.
Okay.
Because it's a good practice. The reason why most of them do it is just so it does, because by the time the vapor tends to escape, little by little, you're having the fuel itself also escaping. So that's why they use paper. But it's not a good practice to overfill your fuel tank, because you're not giving space for for the fuel tank to expand with the vapor inside of it.
That's all. Okay, thank you very much, Karim Masalako. That's quite insightful. So I believe you understand now what it means if your vehicle is having that kind of problem. So try to resolve it. And now, Kaimas has mentioned, don't overfill your tank at this time because fuel is getting cheaper, and now you want to store up fuel. No, those are not good practices at all. All right, let's head on to the roads again. Let's see how the roads are looking like. Let's see the situation. We got this report earlier from Victoria Island that the earlier reported breakdown on the stretch it's been taken off and normalcy is being restored. And update from Immortal also says that road rehabilitation work has commenced again at opposite Leicester Gate in Tamaga Junction by men of GLD. Okay, so asphalt is being applied on the field portion of the road in Tamaga. So a man on ground managing the traffic. Thank you. All right, and please, if you're moving towards that church, if you're moving, that's from maybe coming from Sabo, from Kashaluri, from other areas, trying to connect to Tamaga, please be patient. And especially for the tricycles, please be patient. They tend to create a lot of mix up on our roads, especially on that stretch. The roads are being worked on, so you gotta be patient with traffic managers and with those who are doing the work. All right, also on Lekki Aja corridor, there's a breakdown of a whole truck with mechanical problems at Agungi. It was Jakonde. The tow vehicle has been contacted and traffic is extended beyond Ibuefo. Although we have traffic managers on ground doing the needful, so just be patient, okay? Be patient and let's maintain law and order. Let's be peaceful. This Utah, okay? We all want to have very memorable celebration, so please let's not get things clogged up. All right, and also from Okeodo, our traffic manager saying that the earlier reported impediment has been taken off the road. Okay, thank you so much for doing a good job, traffic managers. Let's also head on to our live screen here in the studio, okay? All right, especially on Obafemi Awolowo, it's getting busy. It's really getting busy. We have high influx on that stretch, especially for those connecting from ShopRite, getting inwards that stretch is really, really busy. Traffic light alternating though. All right, and that's the major reason for this, coupled with high influx. So for those trying to connect from secretariats, connecting Ikeja City Mall, there's coming in from Latif Jakonde, from Coca-Cola, trying to connect that stretch. So, it's a whole lot there. It's a whole lot. So you just have to be patient. The traffic lights are still working and yes, doing their job. And our traffic managers are also well positioned. Peradventure, we have any issues. So they are there helping to manage the situation. And on the return journey, it's fair. It's fair on the return journey. There's those coming in from Ikeja, those coming in from Kudirat Abiola Way, trying to connect Obafemi Awolowo Way. It was the Secretariat, it was Governor's Road. We have it fair on that straight. That's on the return journey. All right. So, generally today, you just have to be patient. And don't forget that there's an event somewhere around the Yemebe also. Please try to maintain law today. Try to be patient with other road users. So let's give a right of way to others as well. It's a shared asset, actually. The road is a shared asset. All right. And those are on Abiola. Abiola Gardens. So we have it good there. We are connecting Nuruddin, Olugugu, and the return journey too. Yes, it's looking fair, appreciable. Okay. That's all we have for now. So we're expecting traffic managers to keep us posted with situations around their areas of coverage. And also Raphael Jeremy, wherever you are right now, I would like that you also call in. Let's know what the situation is on Mobolaji Bank Anthony. Let's know what it is there. Let's know if the traffic there has subsided. All right. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. If you're just tuning in, the show is Automedics. And we have Kari Matsalako here in the building. We are helping you tackle your car issues. If you have any, please try to articulate your thoughts. All right, Kari Mat. let's take some questions. Okay, I've got this one and I would like us to look at it. This person says, I swapped my engine, replaced it with a Tokumbo engine. For the car to start, it has become an issue. If you're about to start the engine, it cranks and rolls. The car has been scanned. The necessary code fault has been dealt with. The nozzle open is just to come up, and the lights on the spark plugs. Okay, yet the car refused to start. I believe, do you understand that part? So it said 3 rewires have come to check on the car, and finally they have concluded that it is the timing chain that has shifted in the Tokumbo engine. Can a timing chain make a car not to spark? This is a Nissan Quest 2004.
Okay, a Nissan Quest 2004. Okay, so what? You just replaced this engine. Yes, if a car is cranky, it means that the engine is turning when the key is there, and when it rolls, it means that the engine is moving, but how do I put it? But not starting. Like it wants to start, but it's not starting.
It's just rolling.
It's just rolling. Then he said 3 rewires has been there, and he also said something about the 4.
It said they have resolved the codes they got from the scan. All right, the 3 rewires have come to check on the car. They finally concluded that it's the timing chain. The timing chain has shifted. So now it's asking if a timing chain can actually make a vehicle not to spark.
Yes, a timing chain can make a vehicle not to spark, and it can make it not to start because
it has shifted.
Yes.
Can it shift?
Yeah, it can. It can shift because it rotates. So even in the process of rotating or moving,
it has maybe shifted off its track.
Yes.
Or something.
That shifted off the point because they all have a point on the body of the engine. So if it shifts after that point, even if it's just by 0.1, like just using the calculator, like 0.1, it would not make an engine to start.
Wow.
So yes, so what they would just need to do is to do a timing reset on the engine. So if they do a timing reset on the engine, hopefully they get this right and the engine starts. So it's just to do a timing reset. So it would not, yes, because every our vehicle follows what we call, our engine follows what we call synchronization, because there's a time for fueling into the combustion chamber, and for her to get into combustion chamber, there's a time for compression, there's a time for ignition, which is spark, because spark is what helps us start. So when spark is supposed to happen, spark is not happening, it means that the timing has been jumped already. So it has shifted timing. So they'll need to do a timing reset on the vehicle.
Okay, do a timing reset on your vehicle and get back to us if you have further questions. All right, so when we're discussing the issue of regurgitation, a question actually crossed my mind because that's my own experience. You know, today we're actually supposed to share our life or two issues, you know, about, you know, whatever topic. And because I have not experienced regurgitation, but I've experienced other issues. Issues like maybe a sudden surge or a delay in the vehicle. You know, sometimes when you accelerate, you're trying to accelerate, and there's a little delay before the vehicle eventually pushes. It's like it surges forward sharply, you know. So does that have anything to do with maybe your vehicle regurgitating? And could it just be, someone said it's actually the fuel pump, maybe there are dirt in the fuel pump because, you know, when you accelerate, you press the accelerator pedal, takes a while.
Okay, let me just explain it. So the moment you're driving and you're pressing on your accelerator pedal, you're requesting for more power input in your engine, and by requesting for that, you're also requesting for more fuel to be supplied.
Sure.
And then, you know, more fuel to be supplied, your throttle is opening very wide. Air is also coming in a rush.
Yeah.
So yes, so it could be as a result of the fuel pump, just like the person said. So now the fuel pump is having a delay.
Okay.
So it's having a delay. And it could be as a result, if it's having a delay, it could be as a result of the fuel pump itself being overheated. Maybe it's too hot now. But you're lucky enough that the vehicle didn't go off, and then maybe after a while, you now have to start again. Because some vehicles, when their fuel pumps begins to experience delay like that, the vehicle will go off.
Wow.
After like 5-10 minutes, you see that your vehicle start very fine. So it's a delay from the fuel pump. So what you need to do is to check, you take it to your technician, you just let them check the fuel pressure.
Okay.
Fuel pressure. So it could be as a result of a low fuel pressure. And when your vehicle has a low fuel pressure, it means it's the fuel pump. And it could also be as a result of the regulator, the fuel regulator itself. So it's not helping to regulate the amount of fuel that is needed at that point in time. So one of those two are the culprit.
Okay, one of those two, yes, is the culprit. Thank you very much. 091-538-77127. 091-538-77127. Or you send your question to us on WhatsApp on 0809-9120-777, 0809-9120-777. Karimat Salako is very much in the building. This person says, I drive a Toyota Camry 2007. What does the 32 and L symbols on the transmission shifter mean? Do you understand? That's the 3, the 2, the L symbols, that's on the shifter. What does it mean? I guess this person is, I won't say a novice driver now. The person is actually a greenhorn.
Person driving for the first time.
Maybe. But for somebody, someone might not even be a good driver, might not know how to drive, but understands. So, well, it could be that this person is just inquisitive.
Okay, so the L means low gear in an automatic transmission. So that's what the L means. And if you've not encountered, you see there are some that comes with an H. So the H means high. So the H is high, but the L means a low gear. So it means
the 3, the 2.
So the 3 is like, okay, for you have I think oftentimes always L beside 3 and L beside 2. Yes, so it means
all these 3 to L you're mentioning, because I've not seen people who drive a lot of times I see people who drive so fast, and I wonder, I have never used the L whatever the 3 2 is it that it's on drive or it's on reverse or it's on park, people the Lagosians actually use this low speed. I doubt it. I think let's just hang it there. Okay, well, let's take another question, and this will probably wrap up today's edition. A Toyota Matrix 2010. This person says, I want to know what type of transmission oil I can use for service, and how often should I carry out a transmission service?
Toyota Matrix
2010.
Okay, you want to know the kind of oil you should use?
Yes.
Okay.
And how often you should carry out a transmission service?
Transmission service, you always say after, depends on usage, but at least once a year. Once a year. But for in-hill vehicles, at least, it's always once a year, because by the time you calculate the kilometers, that's it. You see that it's around once a year that you should carry out your transmission service. But if you know that your transmission is tending towards how do I put it? It's tending towards, okay, I want to go back to my father's house, kind of.
You understand what I mean?
Like, he wants to go back home. Like, he wants to go back.
There's no home for any car.
Like, he wants to, it's already going bad. You always advise twice a year.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Karima. Dayo is already telling me to get my bags and baggages out of the studio. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Karima Salako, for being here. Thank you to our interns and monitors, thank you so much for being here. And to our social media team, thank you very much. Remy Aluko and Wakwemi Shouldn't Care. Big ups to Hotel Victor and our executive producer. It's Tayo Akonle. My name is Aderunke Iriwole. The show will make a return tomorrow, same time, but I'll be here again on Monday for another time. Until then, enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Yes, check it. If he has state of emergency contact. Yes. I'm seeing his dad's number there. His dad's number. Hello, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. I saw the owner of this phone now. He fainted. He just fainted. Sir, yes, sir. We are allow, sir. I'll wait for you. Please be coming. Please. He's already coming.
Set up your eyes today. It could save your life.
Ikeja. Oh, I'm late. Wait. What's wrong? He has fainted. Where is his phone? His phone. Check his state of emergency contact. Check. He has blocked his phone. There's nothing to do.
What if this was you?
This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Android device. First, click on Settings. Then scroll to Safety and Emergency. Click on Safety and Emergency. Then click on Emergency Contacts. Click on Add Contacts. After adding the contacts, click on
First, the highlight. Lagos State government announces plans to complete sectional rehabilitation of Fagba Junction before 23rd of December. Federal government records revenue shortfall in 2025 fiscal year. In on foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump expands travel ban on 7 more countries. And in sports, Nigeria's defender Calvin Bassey makes BBC Premier League Team of the Week. Now the news in details. I am Temi Dayo Anthony. The Lagos State Public Works Corporation has concluded plans to complete the sectional rehabilitation of Iju Road by Fagba Junction before the 23rd of December. General Manager of the corporation, Tokumbo Ajanaku, said that this while reflecting on ongoing road maintenance and rehabilitation works presently being carried out by the agency on some of the major roads in the state. Ajanaku said, contrary to initiation, some members of the public that the corporation had abandoned ongoing work at Fagba Junction access. The road was intentionally opened to traffic to expedite compaction of earthworks. He further stated that the agency opted to allow vehicular movement and facilitate the compaction of the road in preparation for the final pavement surfacing with the interlocking paving stones, explaining that the sealing of the drainage channels along the corridor is ongoing to ensure that the rehabilitation works stand the test of time. Ajanaku assured road users of the corporation's commitment to professionally deliver the rehabilitation works and mitigate the inconveniences to commuters while maintaining roads across the state, especially during the Yuletide. Apapa local government area has promised to prioritize the well-being of residents in the 2026 fiscal year. Chairman of the council, Olajumoke Shibanjo, gave the assurance while presenting the council's 2026 budget to lawmakers and community leaders in the local government. Shibanjo said the budget, christened Budget of Renewed Hope and Continuity, will cater for infrastructural development with major focus on improved internally generated revenue, IGR. She said while the 2025 budget had 80% performance, that of 2026 is projected to do even better based on new strategy to improve internally generated revenue. The council boss was particularly concerned about addressing the well-being of residents and assured that the budget would take care of that considerably. Leader of the House, Kehinde Musa, promised that lawmakers will adequately scrutinize the budget and give it speedy consideration in the interest of the people. The local government is projecting to spend over 13.8 billion naira in the 2026 fiscal year. In a related development, Chairman of the Lagos State Universal Basic Education Board, UBE, Akim Shitu, has commended the Apapa local government area for its support and assistance to primary schools in the area. Shitu gave the commendation at the distribution of free cartons of noodles to every primary school pupils by the local government. It said such a gesture demonstrated compassion in this difficult time. The UBE chairman urged other local governments to emulate Apapa by putting smiles on the faces of the people and their parents in this festive period. Chairman of the council, Olajumoke Simbanjo, said administration was determined to ease the pressure on parents by assisting them where and when necessary. She said just recently, the local government gave out free text and exercise books to all primary school pupils and promised to continue as well as help improve facilities in primary schools in the area. And now to the rest of the stories. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, has announced that the federal government recorded a significant revenue shortfall in the year 2025 fiscal year. Edu noted that while the federal government projected 40.8 trillion naira revenue this year, it ended up making only 10.7 trillion naira. He made the announcements while appearing before the House of Representatives Committee on Finance and National Planning during an interactive session on the 2026 to 2028 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework and Fiscal Strategy paper. Edu records that the federal government had projected a revenue target of 40.8 trillion naira in 2025 to fund the 54.9 trillion naira budget of restoration designed to stabilize the economy, secure peace, and lay the foundation for long-term prosperity. Anambra State government has vowed to reclaim government lands illegally acquired across the state and has commenced plans to set up a committee for the recovery of such properties. Commissioner for Information, Law Mefo, announced this in a statement following the 25th Anambra State Executive Council meeting held at Government House, Lighthouse, Awka. Mefo said the council took several key decisions at the meeting, including the constitution of a committee to reclaim government lands currently under illegal occupation. He said after hearing another report about people blatantly intruding on government lands and building on them without permission, the council resolved to form a committee to reclaim these government lands in and around Anambra State. And also foreign news, President Donald Trump had expanded the United States travel ban by barring nationals of 7 more countries, including Syria, as well as Palestinian Authority passport holders from entering the country. The White House said President Trump has long campaigned to restrict immigration and has spoken in increasingly strident terms, moved to ban foreigners who intend to threaten Americans. He stressed that he also wants to prevent foreigners in the United States who would undermine or destabilize its culture, government, institutions, or founding principles. Trump's move comes days after 2 United States troops and a civilian were killed in Syria, which the president has moved to rehabilitate internationally since the fall of the long-term ruler Bashar al-Assad. And also sport, Nigeria's defender Calvin Bassey has been named in the BBC Premier League Team of the Week following a standout performance in the club's 3-2 victory over Burnley, joining an elite list of players recognized by BBC sports pundit Joe Denny. Bassey contributed a goal and delivered a commanding defensive display, combining attacking threats with rehabilitable at the back to help secure all 3 points for the Qatar as it departed for AFCON 2025. Denny praised Bassey's star and personality, saying he might be the favorite personality in football. The former Watford striker noted that Bassey appeared at fault for Burnley's opening goal. The error was ultimately not his responsibility, highlighting the defender's composure and influence throughout the match. So just before we go, ensure you make use of your seatbelt while driving. You can follow us on all our social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961. Facebook is Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Instagram is Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1. Subscribe and watch our news and program live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. And you can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on my Lagos app for timely update. Now, did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration completed and inaugurated the new Glover Hall, Lagos? You can get more details on Lagos State Government's website. And now to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Public Works Corporation has concluded plans to complete the sectional rehabilitation of Iju Road by Fagba Junction before the 23rd of December. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edo, has announced that the federal government recorded a significant revenue shortfall in the year 2025 fiscal year. We also told you that President Donald Trump has expanded the United States travel ban by barring nationals of 7 more countries, including Syria, as well as Palestinian Authority passport holders from entering the country. And in sport, Nigeria's defender Calvin Bassey has been named in the BBC Premier League Team of the Week following a standout performance in the club's 3-2 victory over Burnley, joining an elite list of players recognized by BBC sports pundit Joe Denny. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. The NC News broadcast compiled by Majid Ololade. I am Timidayo Anthony. Many thanks for listening.
For May 2012.
Medical information. And fill the information. This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Apple device. Go to your contact list. Search for the name you want to use on your contact list. You scroll down and click on Add to Emergency Contacts. Then click on the description of who that person is to you. Immediately you click on it, click on Done.
In emergencies, every second counts, but a locked phone can delay life-saving help. That is why your phone has an in case of emergency eyes feature.
Yes, check it. Check it if he has state of emergency contact. Yes. I'm seeing his dad's number there. His dad's number. Hello, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. I saw the owner of this phone now. He fainted. He just fainted. Sir, yes, sir. We are allow, sir. Allow, sir. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. Please be coming. Be coming. Please. He's already coming. He's already coming.
Set up your eyes today. It could save your life.
Ikeja. Oh, I'm late. Wait. What's wrong with this guy? What's wrong? He has fainted. Where is his phone? His phone. Check his state of emergency contact. Check. He has blocked his phone. There's nothing to do.
What if this was you?
This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Android device. First, click on settings. Then scroll to safety and emergency. Click on safety and emergency. Then click on emergency contacts. Click on add contacts. After adding the contacts, click on medical information. And fill the information. This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Apple device. Go to your contact list. Search for the name you want to use on your contact list. You scroll down and click on add to emergency contacts. Then click on the description of who that person is to you. Immediately you click on it, click on done.
In emergencies, every second counts, but a lock phone can delay life-saving help. That is why your phone has an in case of emergency eyes feature.
Yes, check it. Check it if he has state of emergency contact. Yes. I'm seeing his dad's number there. His dad's number. Hello, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. I saw the owner of this phone now. He fainted. He just fainted. Sir, yes, sir. We are allow, sir. Allow, sir. I'll wait for you. I'll wait for you. Please be coming. Be coming. Please. He's already coming. He's already coming.
Set up your eyes today. It could save your life.
Ikeja. Oh, I'm late. Wait. What's wrong with this guy? What's wrong? He has fainted. Where is his phone? His phone. Check his state of emergency contact. Check. He has blocked his phone. There's nothing to do.
What if this was you?
This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Android device. First, click on settings. Then scroll to safety and emergency. Click on safety and emergency. Then click on emergency contacts. Click on add contacts. After adding the contacts, click on medical information. And fill the information. This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Apple device. Go to your contact list. Search for the name you want to use on your contact list. You scroll down and click on add to emergency contacts. Then click on the description of who that person is to you. Immediately you click on it, click on done.
In emergencies, every second counts, but a lock phone can delay life-saving help. That is why your phone has an in case of emergency eyes feature.
Yes, check it. Check it if he has state of emergency contact. Yes. I'm seeing his dad's number there. His dad's number. Hello, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. I saw the owner of this phone now. He fainted. He just fainted. Sir, yes, sir. We are allow, sir. I'll wait for you. Please be coming. Please, he's already coming.
Set up your eyes today. It could save your life.
Ikeja. Oh, I'm late. Wait. What's wrong? He has fainted. Where's his phone? His phone. Check his state of emergency contact. Check. He has blocked his phone. There's nothing to do.
What if this was you?
This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Android device. First, click on settings. Then scroll to safety and emergency. Click on safety and emergency. Then click on emergency contacts. Click on add contacts. After adding the contacts, click on medical information. And fill the information. This is how to set up your in case of emergency on Apple device. Go to your contact list. Search for the name you want to use on your contact list. You scroll down and click on add to emergency contacts. Then click on the description of who that person is to you. Immediately you click on it, click on done.
In emergencies, every second counts, but a lock phone can delay life-saving help. That is why your phone has an in case of emergency eyes feature.
Yes, check it. Check it if he has state of emergency contact. Yes. I'm seeing his dad's number there. Hello, sir. Hello. Good morning, sir. I saw the owner of this phone now. He fainted. He just fainted. Sir, yes, sir.